Mainly right now based around old cartoons and old TV shows and nostalgia.
It is the closest thing we have to time travel.
I think Smiling Friends is one of my favorite things to come out of the last 3 years. Like, two creators pop up out of the internet, pop out of Newgrounds, make a classic on an actual TV network. It's so cool. I've always wanted to make music and stuff like that to make people feel good, but more than that, I wanted to make more physical things. I'm having fun. I'm trying to get my name out there, to show people I can do things.
We are given an opportunity to feel a moment as it truly was.
I'm assuming America. I'm trying to.
Yeah, America. Born Chicago, Illinois, over here.
I've done this with 12 American people, and they were, I think, Philadelphia and I want to say like New Jersey or Washington or something. So Chicago's a new one. You go like college or anything?
College. Wait, I actually want to know yours first. Like, what are you thinking with college and school?
I think it's very good for if you know exactly what you want to do, and you know you want to be like a doctor or a lawyer, something specific.
Perfect explanation.
I don't know how expensive it is over there though.
Yeah, no, you got to drop a whole bag to get that advanced learning. That's like the main reason why I've been like kind of put off from it a little bit. But one of these days, if YouTube doesn't work out, I'll just go be a fucking hotel manager or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, college is an option, but right now I'm just trying to put everything into creation.
Yeah, because your videos are long.
Yeah, it does depend on like what you're making it on.
Yeah.
You see people like Pyrocynical dropping 7-hour videos. I bet that took a month. Me, I got through these Gumball videos the second one really quickly because I felt kind of pressured by the last one to make the next one really good. So I only worked on it like every day for hours and hours and hours. And then the first Gumball one, it was an idea I had like last year, and then I slowly started working on it. When I realized that it could actually be an idea that I could make, I just went fucking full ham on making it. So I'd say about a month to make those, but I could have done faster.
Didn't you ever worry about like getting like halfway through reviewing like season 2 and then just realize it and you're like bored and you gotta like try and finish it? It just seems like the biggest thing to try and. 3 hours. I was saying before, like recently I've just been putting out 4-minute stuff, so like 3 hours to me is like years.
Well, it's like, man, longer videos are becoming more and more popular, and I'll let you in on a thing with those videos. Around season 2 and season 4, I was getting a little bit burnt out. So my reviews at the time were really negative because I was like tired of watching them. Even though it's my favorite show, you watch something over and over all the time, you'll eventually start to get a little sick of it, because that was like all I just stopped watching YouTube, any other shows. It was just primarily just Gumball so I can work on the video.
Yeah.
But I realized this, so I came back to the video, fixed everything, tried to make it more positive later on. And that took extra like few weeks.
Yeah, you mentioned like Pyrocynical like a minute ago. I know of him, but I don't think I've actually like watched much of him before.
Sorry for interrupting this brilliant podcast you're currently listening to. I know what you're thinking. Hey, what's that there? Oh, this is my canvas for my favourite movie of all time, Ratatouille. Recently spoke about that. Each individual line represents a different scene from the movie, and the colour of that line is dependent on whatever the main colour of that scene was. The thickness of the line dependent on the length of the scene. Yeah, it's just pretty cool. I quite like it. An abstract film deserves abstract love. If you would like a colour palette for one of your favourite films, then get one from their website. Will be linked below. Use this code, get a little discount. They're pretty sweet. They've got loads of them as well. Let's get back to what is probably the best podcast of the year.
If he's on the list, who else is sort of like your people you're watching regularly on YouTube?
People I watch regularly. Okay. If we're going by people I just watch regularly, to be honest, I'm a big compilation guy. I like stream highlights. I like Game Grumps compilations, Germa highlights, and all those guys really push me to be better. Because you ever see? Do you know who Germa is by any chance?
Literally today, I think was the first time like I saw him. Like it came up on my recommended like tier list compilation.
I used to just not know anything about him, but you dive deep into the hole and you realize like this is one of the most interesting, most entertaining people on the internet, because the way that he does comedy and the amount of effort he puts into things, he's definitely one of my inspirations. Because it just, bro, the things that he does and the fact that he just himself stays humble, doesn't really change for views and money, it's so inspiring.
Not
my number one inspiration, but he's really good.
Yeah. Do you know like Moist Critical Penguins guy?
Yup. Charlie.
Much like him, 'cause I know him, but I don't.
Charlie's a whole different. Well, kinda, I guess, because Charlie Penguin Zero did just stay himself. Like no matter what, no matter how big he is, he's just in front of a camera in a room. That room might have a lot more expensive shit in it, but he's just a guy in front of a camera still. A question. Do you? Well, actually, let me tell you about my main inspiration real quick.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna ask you about your inspiration.
Okay.
My main inspiration is probably Nakey Jakey.
I know that name.
I
know that name.
When you look into it, he's a guy, he hasn't done YouTube in a while, like seriously. But when he was really popping, some of the best YouTube content, the most rewatchable shit I've ever seen. Just these quick videos talking about anything in front of his green screen on his damn yoga ball. And he was just hilarious. Like the way he talks about things and explains things, he can make anything interesting. And I really admire that.
I do know this guy actually, now you mention it. I've seen, I watched his, what game is this? Last of Us 2, I think. I watched that and I was like...
Last of Us.
I was like,
that's famous.
Video, yeah. Oh, that's a hard question, man. The thing is, I'm so bad at these types of questions on the spot because, like, my mind just goes blank. Like, I definitely have an answer. I just... to get it out. I mean, obviously, I like podcasts and stuff, innit? So, like, anyone who's doing a podcast in a way that I feel like is sort of innovative, like... I like ones that are outdoors and stuff with people on the go, like new ideas to a way to change the format, something like.
Are you like a public interview type guy, like those videos that go out and like ask the public questions, like the guys that ask like, what are you listening to, or just guys will go and ask up a question, like Sneeko's old videos before he was asked.
No, I can't even watch those videos because I have like a really I don't know what you'd even call it. I just cringe so easily. So like if I was in that environment, I'd just call up and like a ball, like trying to ask people in public. The idea of you going up to someone, asking them a question, and they just like walk past you and they even like look at you. I find it too awkward. And also when you say like people on YouTube, I'm trying to think of people like you would know as well in it, because I feel like the YouTube scene in England, it's just like it feels big because you're here, but it's actually that very niche in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, y'all got some celebrities like you guys got like a whole side of YouTube where you have your own celebrities for like KSI, the Sidemen, the other, damn it, all right, Chunks is part of the other one. I forgot the name of the other group, but they're part of a large YouTube group. Nico Amalana, you guys got some huge. Actually, you guys have some fucking banger YouTubers. Memulus and Willany and James Marriott, all those guys.
Yeah, like in terms of Nico, sorry. Like I've never made anything like that, but I do kind of like that. That's outdoors, like the video where he goes to America, the most racist town in America, whatever. Like,
that so
I just
good.
I like stuff like on the go, like when you're out and outside and stuff. It just adds so much to when people are just indoors.
It does, doesn't it? Like it adds like a lot of atmosphere or like effort to the video, because it's like, oh shit, this man left his country for this shit.
Like, even if I'm watching
it's cool.
something that's like relatively like normal, that obviously that's like a crazy idea. Even if it's just something like they're reviewing a game or they're just talking about this, like if they're just outside, like I just enjoy it more. I can't even explain it. It's just like my eyes. I wanted to ask you actually, because in terms of podcasts? I noticed you've like had one or two that you've like started before in the past, like a year ago.
All failed. Every single one. They were all ass cheeks.
Because I think there was a separate channel for it, and then I found one on like the main channel.
But with the podcast thing, yeah, those are kind of old podcasts I did kind of with my friends, offshoots. They never really went anywhere. But it was my attempt, and there were even ones before that called like the Kinda Cool podcast, where I didn't know how audio mixing worked. I was just like recording a Discord call with my buddies. But I've always wanted to do a podcast, and I've had a lot of attempts.
That kind of like
recently I started
there you go.
A new channel for it.
What's that one called? Is that the one you have linked?
Yeah, the Jump Cuts podcast. I haven't. There's gonna be a new episode soon, but like, not yet. It'll come soon. I'll put one up.
Why do you reckon you've just not been?
It's probably gonna be like most professional one that I make.
Why do you think it's not been you've not been, I don't know, hooked to it?
Podcasts are fun to do, but hard to keep up, especially like when you try. I noticed your podcast. I think you do it the right way, where it's you and you bring someone on and you're interested in them and you ask them questions and like you make good content with them. But what I tried to do a lot of times was I wanted a co-host.
Yeah.
And getting another person to be as passionate as you and always be there to like record, and when you don't have them, it's like awkward because then it's hard, man.
Yeah, I get 100%. Like I listen to a lot, and there's like, so let's just say I listen to like 10 because it's an easy number. I would say like one or two of those are like solo podcasts, like people who just do it on their own. And like, I've tried that before. Like I did like 80 episodes, so I was just talking on my own, but it gets hard. Like your voice gets dry. You're desperate for water. Like you just run out of things to say. Like it's people who do that, like fair. That's why when I did this, I was like, it needs to be like a guest thing. But even that can be difficult as well, because like I probably started doing this like 2 years ago, and then you're now probably like the 5th guest, because it's just hard to get people on.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro. Like, because I've had the same experience where like I feel like a lot of YouTubers are closed off. They're in their own bubbles. You can't really DM them. You tweet at them, they don't see it.
Yeah.
So I understand your plight there with trying to get guests, but that's always why I just started off with like my homies and we talked about whatever. But those never did well. The only podcasts that'll do well are with other creators. So I get the struggle. It is hard.
Yeah, I mean, even just with your friends though, like that still has potential to like get off the ground there for that, because you was talking about like some people they just have the way with convo, you know what I mean? They can just make it interesting. If you got like a cool set or something where you do it, or you got like you make it look all pretty and stuff, and like you're talking about shit people care about, then I mean,
got a cool ass background and shit. Exactly.
Yeah. It can work. It's rare though. I know what you mean.
Rarely ever see someone do a solo podcast and it like blows up. Because solo podcasting, you explained it, and I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, that sounds like the hardest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Because you just need to talk and be interesting for like a straight hour.
Yeah, like when I did it, I think I got to about 80, and I just had to be like, God, I can't. Because the main issue is as well, like the people who I listen to who do it, and like I feel like they do it fairly well. It's like their other profession, they're like stand-up comedians or something, so like they're naturally funny, or they just have like shit going on in their life. When it's like realistically, I just go to work, come back home, and then you got nothing to talk about. It's just like hard. So I actually have something here, because you was talking about cartoons and how nostalgia stuff and how that's kind of been a lot of your content recently. I've prepared a tiny little sort of tier list right here.
He came prepared. A tier list?
That's right, man. I do the background work.
Lay it on me.
Now, I could add some stuff. I haven't got that many shows yet. Also, I don't really know the kind of stuff you watch, so I don't want to get too risky if I haven't seen it. So I've got some safe options I know for sure you've seen. And very original. We've got, by the way, there's 4 tiers. Sort of just, they are named, but just classic, good, meh, and dead. And we can go through this. I'd be interested in what you have to say. Obvious first one, you can probably guess what show I'm going to start with. Gumball. Where would you rank that amongst your sort of television shows.
Well, it's kind of unfair. Classic, automatically. Yeah, I mean, nothing could beat it. Like,
That's your outright favorite.
classic. Outright, downright, wholeheartedly, Gumball all the way. Even though, like, they had some weak... You know you have an incredible show when even the worst episodes are still beloved by, like, hundreds of thousands of people, so...
Is it like popular? Because I always assumed it was like a cult kind of show, cult following.
You know, on the internet, it kind of feels like a cult following, but it's one of the most popular shows ever made.
No, I did not know that. I mean, I definitely enjoyed it. What I realized, because I was watching your like review of the episodes and stuff, I assumed I'd seen probably about 80% of them. I've probably seen like 25% in reality. Like,
yeah, it's weird. A lot of people were like, even though I don't really watch Gumball like that, I've seen like all of these episodes. That's how classic it is.
Yeah, I mean, the next one is. I feel like I know where this should go, but the next one is SpongeBob.
Now, classic it's got to be classic. I mean, but if we're gonna talk about it, there's only really a certain era of it that makes it classic, and all the rest of it is just they fucked it up.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. Are they still making it now?
Yeah, they haven't stopped. They are just pumping out new SpongeBob all the time. That's like Nickelodeon's only thing now.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's good now, but to be honest,
I can't imagine it's ending.
You can't imagine it
ever.
Ending. I mean, didn't they cancel it like a couple years ago and then they brought it back?
Yeah, no, it's been canceled twice, I think. Actually, no, maybe once, but yeah, it had to be brought back because it was such a fucking juggernaut. They couldn't get rid of it.
That's true.
SpongeBob's definitely classic though. Like first 5 seasons, I'd say. Pretty good shit.
For me, SpongeBob is like it's got moments. Like it's got just such great moments.
Oh, classic moments.
For me, I don't know. I can acknowledge it's a classic, but for me, I wouldn't have it there. The thing is, so far there's 2 in classic, and I know for a fact this one's also going in classic because you mentioned it. I've never seen it. Chowder.
Oh yeah, 100% classic. Now, a lot of people disagree with me because if you go back and watch Chowder episodes now, a lot of them didn't really age too well. It's one of the most creative shows. It was like the Gumball before Gumball. It's one of the most creative shows I've ever seen, with their jokes and fourth wall breaking humor and colors and art style and everything. The characters, it was just creativity, just bursted, orgasmed onto a screen, and it was beautiful. Not enough people talk about Chowder.
I've heard a lot of people talk about Chowder, but not in a positive way. I'll be honest. I've heard nothing. I've heard nothing but bad things about Chowder.
I'm gonna need a list of those people so I can respectfully just never talk to them.
Adventure Time. Have you seen it?
Adventure Time. Yeah. I've seen Adventure Time. Yeah. I'm gonna say probably. Where would you put it?
Right. So this one I have seen. Again, I feel like I've seen 80%. I've probably only seen like 30%. I would put it at. Is it meant to be funny? I don't really remember laughing. I prefer SpongeBob. I prefer Gumball. I'd probably put it sort of meh to good.
I get good as well. When I was a kid, I stopped watching it when the story really started to kick in because, you know, it started off as this fun, silly, goofy show, and then all this shit about the war came in and this whole storyline about the Ice King and shit, and I kind of fell off at that time. I do want to go back and rewatch it because a lot of people have like fond memories of it. For right now, it's just good, but it could probably be classic if I watch the whole thing, which I'm going to.
Yeah, I reckon there's a lot of people who'd probably chuck it in classic.
It's kind of... It's one of the most famous shows ever made, so maybe.
Now, another one. Again, I don't know if you've seen it. Regular Show.
Regular Show. Classic. It's got to be.
Man
classic.
Loves his
Classic.
cartoons.
Because Regular Show, you know, again, creative show, broke barriers with just how funny it was and just different it was from every other cartoon. So, I mean, yeah.
I'm like I don't know what the word is. Compared to you, I'm realizing I'm like... novice. I don't know nothing about cartoons.
You hate cartoons. All of these are ass.
I watch them like, I don't know, like sporadic. I feel like when you watch something, the way you was talking about Adventure Time just then, like the whole storyline and the plot stuff is like, that just all went over my head. Like, I just see it when it's on. Like, I don't watch it chronologically or anything. Like, I don't know.
You know, you could have brought up some of the ass ones. Do you have any cartoons on here that you know are complete ass cheeks?
Well, I mean, I thought Chowder was, but apparently it's...
It might be. I might be fucking delusional. So
next show I got on here is Steven Universe.
Oh boy. Steven Universe. I gotta be careful with this one.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
Dude, personally, in my opinion.
Yes.
Meh.
Oh, okay. We got the first hot take of the day. Meh. Because I know in the same way that people love Gravity Falls and all this other stuff as they love Steven Universe.
Yeah, people will die for Steven Universe. Apparently they ruined the show after like the movie or whatever. But I know for a fact, if you say anything bad about Steven Universe, there is a crowd that will smell you and track you down. I
got two more. I'm going to say them at the same time. The first one, We Bare Bears. Okay. Have you seen that?
We Bare Bears, yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little bit more, that's a more of a culty, a little bit more niche-y thing. And then I have an older show of Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Have you seen that?
Yes.
You know what?
Ed, Edd, and Eddy?
I think I underestimated you a little bit. I sat there thinking shows like Ed, Edd, and Eddy, stuff of that sort of ilk, you wouldn't have seen.
Bro, if it was on Cartoon Network, I've probably seen it. Or if it, yeah. Even Nickelodeon. If it was just on it, I've probably seen it, unless it's like from the 90s.
Yeah. Where do those two go respectfully each for you?
Oh, okay. So We Bare Bears, it's good. You know, it's not incredible. It's not great. But it's a really cute show from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I haven't done a deep dive into We Bare Bears, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
And Ed and Eddy, I'm gonna put good as well. I'm not gonna act like a fake fan because everyone talks about how good it is, but I never watched it like that. What I did see was good. Yeah.
Yeah. I've probably only seen like one episode of We Bare Bears, but like maybe it's because my standards were so low because maybe I was a bit older at the time and I was coming back to watch a cartoon and I just assumed it'd be shit, and it made me maybe chuckle a couple times that I just think in my head it's amazing because it just surpassed expectations. But Ed and Eddy, that's a classic. For me, even though I don't know, I don't love cartoons that much. I'm guessing I just I don't know. I think I just enjoyed them at the time.
I mean,
that's all the ones I have written down. As I said, I want
to ask
your knowledge.
That's all good. I wanted to ask, like, if cartoons were the move, were you a fan of sitcoms by any chance?
Yes, sir. But not as a child. That'd be weird. Like when I was obviously like 7 or something, I wasn't watching sitcoms over cartoons. But I watched cartoons and I transitioned over to sitcoms, I think.
Right, like Disney Channel original sitcoms?
No. Don't you dare. Disney Channel...
Those were interesting.
Even as a child, Disney Channel has always been the guilty pleasure type of thing. Like I'm watching it, I know I shouldn't be. I know it's mostly garbage, crap. But sometimes you're just watching, you gotta make the hours go by.
It's that turn your brain off type of shit. Yeah.
And plus as well on Disney Channel, most of it is like, actual people. It's like live action. So the right word is like actual people. It's not cartoons. And the quality is just cringe. It's just bad. I mean, there's some of the classics. Look, when I was younger, I was watching a couple of That's So Raven. I'm not gonna try and lie.
Yeah.
But as once you get past that sort of 2010 or whenever 2015, it just goes downhill. The old Disney Channel, when they like the way I'm remembering it, like back in my day, it was like guilty pleasure stuff at best. Now I can't even call it that. It's just guilty. Like like the show Jake Paul used to be on. Like on Disney Channel.
Bizaardvark, baby.
That shouldn't exist. That shouldn't exist.
Wholeheartedly agree. In Disney Channel, I went through like a phase. I'll be honest. I went through like I'm too old for cartoons. Let me watch some real people.
Yeah.
And that's when everything started flowing to my brain. And now my humor is ruined because I think laugh tracks at random places are funny. So stuff like Austin and Ally, Dog with a Blog, that one. Victorly.
Genuine. Dog who has blog. The pitch meeting for that show.
The dog, man. The dog is a niche internet micro celebrity. I love it.
Dog who has blog. I mean, sure.
And Good Luck Charlie, that was one.
Yeah, I have partaked in a bit of Good Luck Charlie.
But if you're talking about like other like
Zack and
adult
Cody.
sitcoms, you know, Zack and Cody, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I think we can all agree that was a good one. If we're talking about like adult sitcoms, though,
Yeah.
I've recently actually gone back and seen a few Seinfeld episodes. That shit old as hell.
Yeah, that's crusty.
What was that one that everyone hates?
That everyone hates. What, Big Bang Theory?
Yes, you took it right out of my mouth. Big Bang Theory. When I was a kid, I used to laugh at it because I thought that's what funny was. But Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory. It's like the Family Guy of sitcoms.
I've not been seeing Family Guy. Do you watch like adult cartoons?
Adult? Oh yeah, for sure. Favorite adult cartoons. I'll ask you some of them as well. What is your opinion on Family Guy? Because there's no one in the middle on Family Guy. You either love it or you hate it.
I'm probably in the middle. I've not seen enough to
Okay,
despise
prove me
it.
wrong. I got you.
I've never watched. Like, it's been on. I just never even like have paid any attention. Things like Family Guy, American Dad, South Park, all that type of stuff. I'm just like, nah, it's not for me.
Okay. You know, that's completely fair. It's not for some people. Sometimes they get a little bit too trying. They feel like they're trying too hard to be adult, you know?
Yeah.
They'll try too hard with the gross out or the offensive shit. But if I was going to rank them on the same tier list that you gave me earlier, Family Guy would be in good.
Okay.
American Dad would be in great
Interesting.
or classic. What else was there?
There's stuff.
There's
like,
this one called The Oblongs.
I've never heard of that. I've heard of like
Yeah, it's so
the
niche.
Black Family Guy.
Black Family Guy, the Cleveland
Yeah,
show.
that thing.
I mean, if we're talking adult cartoons, does Smiling Friends count?
I think Rick and Morty and Smiling Friends, they both count.
Okay, yeah, then those are both classic. Well, not Rick and Morty. I didn't watch Rick and Morty like that. That's good for me. I think Smiling Friends is one of my favorite things to come out of the last 3 years. Like, it's just so two creators pop up out of the internet, pop out of Newgrounds, make a classic on an actual TV network. It's so cool. Adult Swim has a lot of bangers. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, Rick and Morty, a lot of people feel like it's gone downhill recently. And
Yeah.
Smiling Friends, I feel like it's kind of early because obviously it has one season and stuff. And it's...
Yeah, it doesn't got much episode. It can get better.
What was I going to say about Smiling Friends? Yeah, that kind of brings me back to the podcast thing. Like, what I kind of liked about that is the Brazil episode. In a way, almost kind of
Yeah.
just felt like a podcast to me because the way it's just like rambling through something. It feels like it's all done like just one take. Like, it just feels so different from everything else.
It looks like a scrapped vlog or something because that was the whole joke. Everyone thought that they were going to get into these antics, get like kidnapped in Brazil, go to Rio, have all these incredible experiences. But it's literally just so realistic. They get caught up at the airport. They're afraid to talk to foreigners. They lose their bags, and then they just go home after like 10 minutes.
Yeah, God. I mean, to be fair,
And that's why you travel alone.
I don't know how far Brazil is from America on a plane journey, but if I go on a plane from London to
it's
Brazil,
like-
I would not be going straight back.
Bro, that would be like a like a 25-hour flight from America to Brazil. It's like a 6-7 hour. So I guess I kind of get that.
I mean, I always somehow get into this discussion whenever I talk to someone from America, but you guys just don't know how far is. Like, because you guys will
What
travel.
how far
Yeah,
is?
because your country is huge, man. Like, it's so big.
A little bit.
And England, it's like anything further than like a 30-minute car ride is far.
I mean, if let's say I'm not really aware of how far away things are there because I just hear terms and I don't exactly know how far they are. Like how far would if you took a ride from east to west London, how long would that ride be?
That's difficult for me because I don't drive. I'm a public transport man. But if you got a car ride, you're either going to have to travel through like the center of London, which is going to be hell because there's going to be traffic and like congestion and stuff.
Jesus Christ.
So you're probably going to have to get on like a motorway that goes around the outside of London, like an M25. I don't even know what. You know, some random motorway. It's going to take you around the outskirts. It'd probably take you like an hour, maybe. On the train to get from east to west, because I live in east, to get to west, it'll take you like maybe 40 minutes on train.
Damn, all right. That's like a nice size, yeah. I hear London is a big city, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Like the actual city part is pretty like the part that feels like a city feels pretty small, but I guess technically like when you're actually looking at the borders, it takes a while, yeah.
It's really cool to know this because the only other contact I had in that sort of area of what it's like living over there is a distant friend in Wales, and I haven't talked to him in like months.
Yeah, I think I've been to Wales for like literally minutes. Just very green, a lot of sheep.
Very green.
Yeah, very green, a lot of sheep. Weird accent, hard language that they sometimes speak.
Oh, just looking over there, it looks like the country folk have like the most peaceful lives in the world. It's just like, yeah, it's cloudy and it rains, but you literally just get to stay inside on this huge, grassy, isolated field, no one to bother you. You're just relaxed, living life.
It gets pretty isolated, especially like if you're in like Wales or something, because they've got like huge valleys and stuff, and like you can be out living in like a tiny little cottage in between these two massive mountains either side of you, and just you're out there on your own.
Oh, that sounds so fucking peaceful, man. That sounds awesome.
I mean, it depends how you look. You could look at it as that's peaceful. I look at it as like I could get murdered out here and no one will know. No one will know.
Yeah, that is a way to look at it, huh? Yeah, no one to really scream to. What's a country you always wanted to visit? Well, you told me about America.
Yeah, I mean, I'd want to do like, obviously I'll get it obvious, like road trip of America, kind of go into more of the niche places, and then I also want to go to just like a trip to like New York. Outside of America, Japan just looks so different to everywhere else. I feel like you've got to try that out. And, you know, I'll chuck in Canada, Australia. Those are my main ones, I think. Low-key recently, Paris. I know everyone says Paris is dead and dirty and people are rude, but I just want to go. What about you?
Well, yeah, I would say the UK. I would want to visit Wales to see my friend.
Yeah. I've
always wanted to go. What's that one country? Oh, bro. Well, yeah, Japan, but also South Korea. South Korea looks fucking insane.
I don't know much about South Korea. I know it's very close to North Korea, which is where I don't want to go.
See what's going on down there. Maybe the Congo, maybe fucking Egypt, maybe places like that. Chad.
Funny name.
Yeah. I had a different feeling. I wanted to move to New Zealand for a long time. Not just visit. I wanted to be in New Zealand.
Why?
Because it just seems like the most chill place in the world.
Yeah, they are pretty... I mean, I feel like Australian, New Zealand people, they just seem funny, relaxed, good time.
Yeah.
But they've got creatures out there that I don't need to come in contact with, if I'm honest.
What I've heard is that as long as you don't fuck with them, they don't fuck with you. So don't get bitten by the fucking black erection spider or whatever that's called.
I'm not afraid of dying. I'm just afraid of just them in general. I don't want to be near them. Like, they could be nice. You're afraid of I don't like them.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the people. I was like, damn, you're just going to say that? I just don't want to be around them.
I'm talking
those
about,
goddamn
insects and, like...
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not just like... Yeah, I've got nothing against the people of Australia, just to be clear. I was going to ask, what's it called? In terms of your sort of, like, future endeavours, you told me you got, like, a little podcast channel you might do something with at some point. But even outside of YouTube, like if there was anything you wanted to get into, like voice acting or like just like off piece.
Outside of YouTube, I've always had like, the average YouTuber thing. Every YouTuber tries to get big so they can be a singer and just start rapping.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see.
I've always like wanted to make music and stuff like that to make people feel good. But more than that, I've wanted to this is gonna sound weird. I wanted to make more physical things. Like I wanted to make a theme park for a long time. I wanted to make like a Chuck E. Cheese clone. I wanted to make places that people can actually go to and experience. Also, I wanted to do kind of a movie, or those internet ARGs. Like Markiplier's don't sell them. There's like Wendigoon's covered a lot.
Yeah.
There's a Minecraft one I covered on my channel. I want to make one of those.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. That seems like even the storyboarding or something like that seems like a lot.
Oh yeah, it's like writing a story and then you have to figure out how to execute it amongst like different forms of media on the internet. It's crazy, man. Like to be honest, YouTube is still a thing where it's like I'm having fun. I'm trying to get my name out there to show people I can do things, but it's also just me chilling. I've always admired people like Nikki Jakey or like KSI that will have millions of viewers, yet they're just in a room just just talking, chilling.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Okay, so my final thing is I kind of been liking recently, I've been seeing in certain pods where it's like they have a running final question, so either they ask the same final question for everyone, or there was one I watched where it was like one person asks a question and then you ask that question in the next episode and that other guest has to answer the question that was asked by the previous guest type thing.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, unfortunately that idea was taken, so I couldn't steal it. So my more crap version is I wanted to just ask people at the end, basically, if you had to get a tattoo of something on your body, on your person, and you have to get it, you're being forced to, gun to your head, you have to get this, there's no copping out of this, whatever, which you think represents your channel or what you do or who you are, and you had to get it, what would you get and why? So like the last person I asked, he said he would get a salmon with a top hat on and a cane. So and then eventually I want to get all of these images that people have said and I want to like make something with it, like make a like after it goes to 100 episodes, make a shirt with them all on or something, I don't know.
Damn, okay.
So I'm thinking long term.
I'm gonna say if I was gonna get a tattoo to perfectly represent my channel anywhere on my body,
yeah,
a lot of toys I had in the past, they were very shoddy, not very well made, and they looked like they came straight out of a sweatshop. But you could tell that there was heart put into the design. And I love them. I love looking at them. I love playing with them all the time until they broke. I kept a lot of plushies. And they all said, every single toy that I loved said made in China. So I would get a tattoo on my ass cheek that says made in China.
Such a good spot for it. You get what? It says made in China.
Yeah.
Branded on your ass.
Yep. Just smacked it right there.
Well, my respect level for you have only just doubled after that answer because that is honestly beautiful. That's brought a tear to my eye. Genuinely. Yeah. So eventually, one day, I'll get a shirt made. I'll get something made, and made in China will be on it. It will not be on my physical ass, but it will be on a shirt, and that's close enough. I don't even know what episode this is. I'm just gonna guess 5 or 6. There's not been that many, and I've already lost count. But I think it's 5. We've had. You said Chicago, right?
Well, yeah, I was born in Chicago.
Oh, but you're not there anymore.
No, I'm in California.
Alright, well, the Chicago-born Californian raised boy wonder on the app. It was a good time. I appreciate it. You're not far off 150, so good luck with that.
Thanks, G. I
And-
appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah.
The fucking demon from West London.
East London.
Fuck!
Yeah.
KR did it.